Hi, Nevlin Knights. Today is Tuesday, April 21st. Instead of showing me, I thought I would show the sunset from last night. And there's a lot of different things going on in the world right now, and we're stuck at home and having to do a lot of things that's out of the norm for us. But sometimes if you take your time and slow down a little bit and look what's around you, there's a lot of pretty things out there. So this was the sunset from last night. Hope you enjoy it. Let's take a look at our matrix and see what we're going to be working on in math today. Hi, fourth graders. Let's look at our matrix and see what we're working on for Tuesday. It says we're going to be adding like fractions. Comes from chapter 9, lesson 1. Watch the video on Seesaw, Mrs. Schwartz teaching, and complete the problems below. These same problems will also be posted on Seesaw. You can choose to do them on Seesaw or on paper. If you choose to do them on paper, please take a picture of your paper and post it on Seesaw or email it to your teachers. So, adding like fractions. You can see these are the problems that you're going to be working on. It looks like a lot, but I think you'll go through this pretty fast just because adding like fractions is pretty easy. The first thing you have to remember or know is what's a like fraction. And fractions with the same denominators, or the bottom number, are called like fractions. So you can see in these fractions right here, 1/8, 7/8, 3/8, 5/8, they all have the same bottom number, the same denominator. And when they have the same denominator, even if it was an improper fraction, we still say that they are like fractions. And as long as the denominators are the same, we can go ahead and add them. And when we add fractions together, we never add the denominators. The denominator will just stay as it is. We add the numerators. So if I wanted to find out what's 2/10 plus 4/10, I would add the numerators. My denominator stays as 10. I would add the 2 and the 4, and then I would get 6/10. So if I was looking at this with fraction pieces, if I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's my denominator. That's what the total number of pieces could be. But we're only adding 2/10 plus another 4/10. So out of the 10/10, we have 6/10. And then what we have to do, one last step, is we have to write that fraction in simplest form. 6/10 is not in simplest form. And remember, simplest form is just what's the easiest way that we can picture or think about what that fraction is or looks like. So we use greatest common factor. And in this case, it's 2, so we divide 6 by 2 equals 3, and 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So 2/10 plus 4/10 equals 6/10. 6/10 in lowest terms is 3/5. So let's look at one more. Let's do eighths. We have 3/8 plus 3/8. And remember, as long as we have like denominators, we can add these fractions together. So I just add the numerators. 3 plus 3 equals 6. So 3/8 plus 3/8 equals 6/8. And then we have to look and say, is 6/8 in lowest terms? So that's when we go down to our factors. And the factors of 6, remember, these are the numbers that multiply together to equal 6, or the numbers that we could divide into 6 evenly with no remainders. So the factors of 6 are 1 and 6, 2 and 3. The factors of 8 are 1 and 8, 2 and 4. And we can look right here and we can see that 2 is a common factor, and those two are also the greatest common factor. 1's always going to be a factor of every number, but 2 is the greatest common factor. So we divide 6 by 2 equals 3, and 8 by 2 equals 4. So 3/8 plus 3/8 equals 6/8, and 6/8 in simplest form is 3/4. So going back to your activities for today, you've got some fractions that you can add together. They all have like denominators. Then we have some pictures, some fraction pieces, and this just helps you visualize. So it says write an addition sentence for each model, then find the sum. So how many fifths do you see in green here? That would be one fraction, plus How many fifths do you see in green here? That would be your second fraction. And then what is this plus this added together? So what's 2/5 plus 1/5 equals what? So you're going to write an addition sentence and then solve and then try to see if they're in simplest form. If they're not, use the greatest common factors. I hope that helps. Have a great day.